a great little tool is the north arrow. And where this can really come in handy is just like in AutoCAD when you're drawing, putting a house in, you typically want to put the front door, down or to the right, just for consistency, the way we draw, just typically where it happens. Now, what happens if the north arrow is, say, this direction? Um, the north arrow in SketchUp will always automatically be in this direction, going straight up and down. So where that really comes in is if we turn on shadows. You really want to control, say, very specific shadow settings or do a sun study or what have you. You want to make sure that your north arrow is in the right direction. This is actually a built-in feature of SketchUp, but it still needs to be installed through the extension warehouse. So again, we're going to click here for the extension warehouse. And then once in here, just search north arrow. And you can see that it's this one right here called Solar North, which is built by SketchUp. So why it's not already installed, I have no idea, but this is what you want to deal with, is the Solar North. And you would just click on it and click on install and then follow the directions. Once it's installed, it'll be here. It'll look like this. It'll be Solar North and have these three different icons. And those are the ones that we're going to be looking at. So to get the north arrow we want, we can, if we're saying this is our north arrow, we can, if you know the angle at which it's at, I'm going to quickly find it by drawing this line, and let's say this is, actually I think I need to go the other direction. So if I have, pretending this is my current north arrow, and we would rotate this about here, and you can see on the bottom right it says we're about 43.1 degrees turned. So we're going to come here, we're going to click on enter north angle. Let's see if this works. 43.1 degrees. And we can toggle the north arrow on. So you can see that we're now, our north arrow is now running up this direction, so we're just about where we need to be to have a true north arrow. And so really you can enter in whatever angle you need to get the north arrow you want. Now that's if we're looking for super accurate north arrow. The other place where this can come in handy is if we're trying to do scenes where we have, say, the shadows in a nice position for viewing on the front side. We could do something like this so that we're the front face is not in super shadow, but we can get nice shadows on our doors and windows and what have you. But when we come to the rear, sometimes it's very difficult to find a setting for where the rear would also be in sun, especially if this was already set at 0. The front will have a nice setting, but the rear we might not be able to find one that we can actually be in the sun, and we could be stuck in shadow no matter what we do. So what you could do is we could set this scene say we like that one, and then we can come here. Let's just throw some quick bump ins for windows to see what that looks like. And maybe we'll change the north arrow just 90 degrees, just something different, so that we can just get a different view of what that looks like. And what's cool is if our scene tab will actually maintain the north arrow view. So this is obviously not an accurate representation of what the sun shadow would be for this model, but what it does do is it creates nice shadows for our various views. So you can see that in my scene 11, my north arrow is pointing straight up, which you can see right there. And if I come to scene 12, you can see my arrow is now pointing to the side 90 degrees from here. But what that does is it gives us an ability to have scenes that give us shadows that we're looking for. You know, maybe instead of 90, we want negative 90 to go the opposite direction. You know, whatever it is that we think works for what we want to do. So that's the north arrow, and that's kind of the functionality and the reasons why you would want to use it.